In this review of the Sympl Motion Sling, we're gonna pack this sling out, talk about the pros and the cons, and if by the end of the video you're still not sure if it's a sling for you, I'm gonna give you some close but different sling alternatives that might be a bit more up your alley. Let's talk about the gist of the Sympl Motion Sling. A California-based brand, Sympl makes gear that's sort of like that intersection between I work hard, but I play hard. I got a business meeting, but I like to go surfing at sunset. That's because all their bags have a nice professional aesthetic, but are also made with super weatherproof materials. Some of the top features of this sling are, again, those super water-resistant materials, a quick access front pocket, a pocket heavy main compartment, and all you organization nerds out there, I know what you're thinking, but keep it in your pants, all right? A back compartment that has a bit more capacity. We got a hidden back wallet pocket and a strap that's removable, which therefore makes this both a sling and potentially a tech pouch. All Sympl products only come in one color option, black. The size is 3 liters, but we're gonna kind of test that out and talk about that a bit more 2 sections from now. For dimensions, we got a height of around 6 inches, a width of around 10 inches, and around 2 inches of depth. The sling is pretty chunky and well structured, so it keeps its shape whether it's packed or empty. This is the Motion Sling when it's empty. This is the Motion Sling when it's fully packed out and worn on me. For reference, I'm 5'8". And we'll pack it out throughout this entire view so you can see exactly how it fits. All Sympl products are backed by a lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects. And for that, the sling currently runs around $100 US. And while we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this review, if at any point you start thinking to yourself, I love that sling, and I'm totally gonna buy one, or you wanna find out more information, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you're the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the outside of the Sympl Motion Sling. First up, the aesthetic. And like I said, Sympl's aesthetic is like, it's professional, it's got a good look to it, but it doesn't look out of place outdoors either. And that is aided by the fabrics. And this fabric is a Cordura Recore nylon with a coating, sometimes referred to as a face. Recore is recycled, Cordura is one of the best fabric makers in the game, and the coating is going to give this sling and all Sympl products extra weather resistance. One thing to note though about coatings is they can peel over time, but I have no way to know if this one will peel or not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends on lamination they use, the process that they have, the quality of the actual products, right? But it's something to keep in mind. On the front here, we have Sympl's branding, which I've never been a really big fan of. A little bit loud. Black on black, I think would have been better. What do you think? Do you like the Sympl branding? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on to the bottom, I thought it was gonna have a little bit of a flatter surface for a better self-standing, but it doesn't really self-stand. Not a deal breaker on a sling, but again, something to be aware of. On the back, we have a handle. Quality nylon webbing, decent area to grab. It's just nice to have an extra point of leverage, especially when the shoulder strap is taken off and you want to just kind of carry it in hand mode. And speaking of the shoulder strap, you can see it is connected with these Hypalon attachment points on either side. We got a really nice silky nylon webbing here, and it's got magnetic hardware made from Woojin, who make great magnetic hardware. The best, some might say. And what's interesting about this sling is, like, as I'm wearing it, it kind of feels like a tech pouch it's the tech pouchiest sling I've ever reviewed. Because it's definitely a sling. It's called the Motion Sling, but the whole thing is set up as a tech pouch, which is kind of cool though, because you've got a lot of quick access points, which will fill those pockets out in the next section. But overall, the shoulder strap feels comfy. The magnetic hardware is not too bulky as to where I'm feeling it on my back. It's there, but it's not very noticeable. But if you're like, I don't want to wear it in sling mode today, I'm gonna wear it in skippy handheld mode. Then to remove the strap, you just unbuckle these buckles. I hate these buckles, not just on this sling, just in general. Bags use them all the time and they're so annoying. Come on. The good thing is they're very secure. And once you take it off, you can see you just got this little chode sticking out. But because of that design, I do think it doubles up as a tech pouch and a sling very well. So you can pop this in your bag, put all your tech stuff in there, then when you get to your destination, if you're traveling, this can be then your day bag. But let's get into the meat and potatoes, shall we? Let's get weird with it. Let's talk about the inside of the Sympl Motion Sling. Starting with this first quick access front pocket. One thing to note is that all Sympl zippers are YKK AquaGuard zippers. Ooh, which just means like next level weather protection. But as with any coating, like the coating on the material, a coated zipper also has the potential to peel over time. But that also depends on a lot of factors. Never a guarantee, but you know, these are the things we gotta talk about. I love Sympl's pull tabs, a little bit of grip there, laser cut Hypalon, I assume. And then boom, you're in. This pocket's super basic, no additional organization, just a little key leash. I like the location of the key leash, super easy access. We're gonna pack this sling out after we talk about all the different compartments, so we can just kind of do it at once. And then from there, we have the main compartment, which might be a little controversial. And this is where the whole 3 liters thing that I was talking about kind of comes into play. Because you can see in this main compartment, we have a lot of organization. We got a magnetic tech sleeve, 1, 2, 3 elastic pockets, 1, 2 mesh pockets, pen sleeve, and then a zippered divider with a pocket. And with 4 pockets inside of it, oh my God. Like I said, organizational nerds, keep it in your pants, all right? But this divider, I think, will cause some division because while it can be really nifty for storage, it is just taking away your ability to sort of put bulkier things in the center of this compartment. I've seen this before. You're either gonna love it or hate it. But if you're really into organization, you're gonna love this compartment and the next compartment, which is the back. It's crazy how much organization this has. I got another pen pocket, 1, 2 mesh pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elastic loops that are great for cables, and then another magnetic back pocket. One note about this lining as well, this gray fabric, is it's actually recycled and it's made from 100% post-consumer recycled plastic bottles. Sympl always incorporates eco-friendly materials into their bags. And one thing to note about this lining is you see when it hits the light in a certain way, now you don't see it, now you do. Now you see it, now you don't. That sort of swirly effect gives it an aesthetic that you may or may not vibe to, but it does help to create a little bit of a highlight effect, which makes it easier to find your gear. It's time to pack it out. I don't even know if I have enough stuff to pack it out with. I need help, Tav.
Pack it.
Give me tech things. I need SD cards and wires.
It says if it's a 9-inch, this is a 10.
Okay. All right, so as you can see, I got a bunch of tech stuff and EDC stuff, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So let's find out. Let's start with the biggest stuff. Just kind of give you an idea of the capacity that we're dealing with. I got a 24-ounce Columbia water bottle, and it could maybe in theory fit in this back pocket. It does, cool. Not too terribly, but it definitely does. But this is the thing with this sling. While it's 3 liters, it's gonna be a tighter 3 liters because all that extra fabric and pockets, they're all kind of fighting with each other for space. So if you put something bulkier in this pocket, not terrible, but noticeable. But really, I don't think this is your bulky stuff sling. That did not sound good. It's okay. This is your smaller tidbits of gear type sling. Let's talk tablets. It's advertised to fit a 9-inch tablet. This is a 10-inch iPad, and as you can see, we've exceeded our capacity. So we got our 9-inch Samsung tablet, and as you can see, it is a tight but snug fit. Definitely not gonna get a bigger one than that in there. And for the back sleeve, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a Kindle. All right, front pocket. Pop the keys on the key leash. Nice little hardware here, easy to access. I'm also gonna throw my AirPods in there. This is just like the things that I want the quickest of access to. And that's it, because we have plenty of pockets to work with. All right, main compartment. Central divider. Could be a great spot if you're a photographer for your SD cards. These are just the holders. Oh, that one's got a card in it. These are a nice fit. Just go ahead and slide them in. I will say, I love Sympl's mesh. Wow. It's very silky, very smooth, and has a very nice elasticity to it. Mesh pockets, we're gonna do a battery, tape measure, pen at the top. Slide that on through. And then for the 1, 2, 3 elastic pockets on the opposite side of the tech sleeve, go ahead and throw some Tylenol in here, tissues. Let's see if it closes. Yeah, it does. It gets a little tight. It's like a 3 liter that's like, it's a complicated 3 liters. Let's just put it that way. And you might notice some of the difficulty in opening and closing. That's because A, I'm packing this thing out and it's a little bit of a complicated 3 liters, but also waterproof zippers are a bit stickier. Backside, pen, my Zin tin, and a B7 sized notebook. Same size as a passport. Perfect spot for that right there. And then on the flip side, we have the bajillion wire slots. I'm not gonna load them all up. We'll load one up just so you can get the gist. Backup headphones, great for calls. These old school headphones, you can't beat them for a phone call. And you can see, I never like using these things. I always find them just so tedious. These are especially tedious because this part doesn't have any structure. So when you're trying to stick things in, it kind of gets flopping all over the place. And it's very tight in there in general. I'm just gonna say these are kind of difficult to use for me, and I just wouldn't use them. I might even snip them out of this. We do have a little bit of volume left over. Let's see if I can fit my Kind Bar in there. Not sponsored by Kind Bar, I just really like them. Close it on up. That's a fully packed sling. And then for the back pocket, only good for flat things. You got another passport-sized notebook here, so if you use this as your travel companion, you can slide your passport right in, zip it on up, get ready for takeoff. Now let's sort of end this with the comfort test. Because as you can see, we're fully packed out. It's definitely a sling that has some bulk to it when fully packed out. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the strap configuration, not my favorite sling. Just in contrast, like a Bellroy sling here, you can see how there's straps are designed in a way that really flow with your chest and have a nice fit on your torso. This one's a little more basic, gets the job done. But for me, I kind of like a little bit more of a, like a little more of that as opposed to like a little bit more of this. Now that the sling is fully packed out, I can feel the buckle a little bit more on my back. Not in a way that's uncomfortable, just noticeable, but if I switch sides, that's better. So the overall summary is, I think that it's actually been designed to be a nice tech pouch as well as a sling. So whenever you do these products that do two things, they can do two things pretty well, but never one thing perfectly. And you can see where those compromises are made with this, but if you are looking for a product that can do both things, then this could be right up your alley. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, you just got super philosophical about this sling. I love it. Where do I sign up to get a philosophy major in backpacks? It's called the Nomads Nation newsletter. Sorry, it's so stupid, but I'm very passionate about these things, as you can tell. So much so that I don't just have a backpack review YouTube channel, but in the Nomads Nation newsletter, it's kind of different. It's like your insider guide to the world of bags, because what's happening in the bag world is insane. There's so many cool things happening and it's hard to keep track of. So I'm your reporter in the field where I'd say about the newest releases, the best drops, the coolest features, trends, all that good stuff. So if you want to stay on top of what's happening in the carry community, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. And now we will discuss the overall pros and the cons of the Sympl Motion Sling. Pro number one, that weather resistance, it's gonna be tough to beat. Pro number two, if you like pockets, you're going to love all these pockets. And pro number three, it is both a very good sling and a very good tech pouch. Kind of best of both worlds. But on the con side, the elastic loops were very difficult for me to use. For a 3-liter sling, it is quite bulky. And then finally, the last con is actually the last pro, as where because it's trying to do two things in one, it's not really like excellent at either of those things, in my opinion. But if you're like, well, dude, screw you. I want a sick tech pouch that can also be a sick sling. I'm totally getting one. And you're gonna make a purchase. Just a reminder that we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. Thank you very much. But also, if you're not quite sold, let me tell you about the two alternative recommendations I teased at the beginning of the video. Alternative recommendation number one is the Sympl Phone Sling. Yeah, it's the phone sling. Final answer. Great option for you if you are totally digging the Sympl vibe, but that thing's too big and too complicated for you. The phone sling brings all the coolness that Sympl does, just in a smaller, more compact version. Still got the removable shoulder strap, and I really like this sling. The other one that I'm gonna tell you about is the Alpaka Go Sling Mini V2, which is a great option if you still want impressive weather resistance, but you want a bit more space in that main compartment, right? You don't need all the pockets, you need something more minimalist, might be able to fit bulkier items in. Alpaka makes tremendous slings. And to learn more about either of these slings, you can just watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any slings, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.